What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Toonen and Dillon, episode 9 with your host, AJ Dillon.
And Will Toonen.
And we got a very special guest today. We got Jason Tartick here in the studio with us. Jason, how you doing?
I'm doing well, guys. I'm doing well. It's Friday before Wild Card Weekend. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. You got to love it.
Great sports weekend. Gotta love it.
Fantastic.
I mean, everyone's back at 0-0, and people are throwing the mitts down, and you guys are sitting on a nice little bye week, which is good. But I'm excited for the weekend, man.
Oh, yeah. You headed back out to Lambeau at any point? Catch one of these playoff games?
What's funny is my boy over there, Chris Mangler, he told me NFC Championship, I got to come back out. So, that's the goal. But I am heading this week. I'm heading out to Buffalo, New York to go see them play the Patriots.
So that's going to be a good game.
Yeah. That will be good. Nice and cold for sure. Gotta get bundled up for that one.
That Minnesota game, the Green Bay Minnesota game at Lambeau, definitely prepared me for the cold. Dude, my beer froze. That's how freaking
that's the best, dude. When you have like a nice like outer rim crust of beer, it's like a nice little icicle treat.
Little slushy.
Little beer slushy. It's fantastic, dude. A nice little frost.
Yeah. Oh, it's great, man. It was great. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a perk for the cold for sure. It keeps your beer cold. So we gotta love that.
I like the strategies the fans use too at Lambeau. Like this, you guys are smarter than us in Buffalo. I grew up in Buffalo, New York, and we aren't, at least my crew, we weren't smart enough to have the 1 inch of foam under the butt and under the feet. I mean, the things you guys do the other thing I learned in Lambeau is you gotta take a garbage bag and tie it under your feet, tie your feet up, and then
you're learning. Hey, I love it.
Trade, man.
I love it. Hey, so you mentioned going to the Bills game. We saw you on Instagram in a bunch of Packers gear last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And so now you're going to the Bills. I'm assuming you're going to be wearing some Bills Mafia gear. If the stars align and we're to play each other in the Super Bowl, what are you rocking? You can't say a little.
He's wearing the half and half jersey.
No. You got to go all out. Who are you supporting? Who are you repping?
All right, well, before I give you the answer, let me break this down, right? So people understand. Born, raised, diehard Buffalo guy, small town. But the thing is even at a super young age, I had so much respect for the Green Bay Packers, the community, the people, the fact that the whole city lives around the football team, and literally it's a football team like built with a city. And so it's always been like a dream of mine to like go to Lambeau. And even the colors, the people, the history, everything, like just everything about the Green Bay Packers, the logo, I just loved it all at a really young age. And so for me, it was always a dream to go, but I've always been a Bills fan. So me going to Lambeau Field, that was legitimately a dream. And Green Bay is my number 2 team. The problem is you can't wear half and half. And if the Buffalo Bills play the Green Bay Packers, boys, I love you guys both, but I got to root for my Bills. I'm sorry.
I understand.
I can respect that. I can respect fandom and everything it stands for, but we just had to know here. We had to know on Toonen to Dillon.
But until that happens, you boys, let's go.
Yes,
get to LA, okay? Get to LA.
Who's a better drinking crowd? Because Buffalo is known for letting loose, and so are the Packers. But like, what's your favorite one?
Honestly, like they need to do a full documentary on the Green Bay Packers versus the Buffalo Bills, because those guys, I drank with them all weekend. Yeah. Those guys, it's the first thing they do when they get up, and it's the last thing they do before they go to bed, and that's the same way in Buffalo. The one thing I'm going to say is I think the Green Bay Packers fans are more welcoming. You guys are like, oh, you guys root for Minnesota, we root for Green Bay. We can still hug each other and drink. Where Buffalo, it's like, you get out.
I love that. Yeah, so I had a friend of mine that was actually from Buffalo in college, and he always used to argue like, "Oh, Buffalo fans, we party way harder than Packer fans," and all this stuff. Like, always get like, he's like, we get way rowdy. And one of my good buddies had a great response to it. He said, "Well, Buffalo fans will drink 6 beers and want to jump through a table. Packer fans will drink 12." Finish the game, get home, and kiss their wife and kids goodnight.
That is so true.
And I think that's like pretty much spot on when you just kind of stuff that you've explained too. I mean, we don't catch up each other and all that stuff like you do at Buffalo.
Yeah, you guys aren't a bunch of raging assholes. You're just
Hey, speaking of jumping through tables, have you ever jumped through one at a tailgate?
Oh, I sure have, man. I sure have. I've done.
Is there any technique to that?
Yeah, there's a huge technique, which no one does, by the way. So I made a bet against one of a former Bachelor. His name's Ben Higgins, and he's a Colts fan. So his last playoffs, Colts lose, you got to jump through a table. Ben's a big dude. Ben's like 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds. He's standing on the top of his pickup truck, trying to break this thing. And the only thing that's breaking is him, not the table. His whole body is shaking. He's doing it over and over. I'm like, Ben, man, this is the golden rule. It's like WWE. You break that table right in the middle before you jump. And yes, that might be cheating, but come on, you got to break that thing. So he learned
you'll bounce off that. I mean, you gotta put heavy hip into it or heavy shoulder, upper shoulder. I think that's the sweet spot of snapping that table.
Yeah, you go shoulder in, but you got to make sure. I mean, come on, do yourself a service and make sure that puppy's cracked before you go through it.
Right. I love that. So, Jason, I know that you dabble in a ton of different areas, and like your resume is kind of all over the place when it comes to being on the Bachelorette, and then also having your own podcast with trading and all just your trading secrets podcast as well. Yep. I love just like a short, brief summary of like where you kind of came up from, like where you started, like what inspired changes in your life, and just kind of where you came from.
Yeah, for sure. So I was kind of like the yes guy, right? Like I think what happens is we're all kind of born into either a community or a family where there are certain expectations of, what will breed success and what will not. And unfortunately, it's this blueprint. We're all born into different blueprints. And the blueprint I was born into is like, go get your education. If you can get higher education, it'd be great. Go be a corporate guy, say yes, do what you're told, and make sure it's done. So that's what I was. Like, I put the hat on, you tell me where to go, I'll go. I relocated 5 times. I talked the way they want me to talk. I acted the way they wanted me to act. When they told me to cut my hair, I cut my hair. When they told me to shave, I said, what kind of freaking shaving cream do you want? And it worked, right? I got all the promotions in the world. I moved all over the place, 29 years old. I got kind of like which in the banking world, this is like the goal. You get your 6-figure signing bonus, you get your VP title, and you get paid pretty well. And the thing is, right? Like, that's what you think. The issue is like, I realized I was just like a spitting robot of like what the corporation wanted me to be. And I had no identity anymore. I was like, I don't even know who I am. And I get home, I take the suit off, and I was so lost. And that's kind of what happened is I made a move from New York to Seattle because they asked me to, 3,000 miles, didn't know one person. And I was just getting depressed. And I was approached to go on The Bachelorette. And everyone in the world was like, dude, what are you doing? You're not going on a reality TV show. Like, you're moving in the right direction up the corporate ladder. I'm like, no, I'm going. They're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, it's the first thing in 10 years I've done for myself and not for the company, or not because someone told me it's the right thing to do. I'm going. And the long story short is I went on the show and it changed every aspect of my life. It changed who I'm engaged to. It changed what I do for work. It changed literally financially, everything changed. And what I did essentially was I took this platform, this social media platform that I built from going on the show, and I really focused on financial literacy and career navigation. And the podcast Trading Secrets is we break down the walls and we talk about money in every industry, where people make money, where people have lost money, so that anyone that's confused about where they are today, or maybe they were suckered down that blueprint, they can learn from other people in other industries to get on the path they always imagined.
Yeah. No, that is awesome. And, we got down noted here, the restart roadmap that you have is available for pre-order now. Kind of just give the people in the podcast, everybody in the world listens to this podcast, just so you know. So everybody is a Jason Tartick fan now. So please let us know like what that's all about.
Yeah, so the restart roadmap, I talk a lot, whether it was at some of the most high-powered executives in corporate America in their offices and behind the scenes, or it was reality TV behind the scenes, or it was even some lessons I learned from, doing Good Morning America with Michael Strahan. I talk a lot about the biggest failures I had in corporate America, ones I didn't talk about. And I talk a lot about some of the greatest lessons I've learned from brand working, branding, networking, how to get in the door, and how to change the industry and the career track you're on. So the question I'll ask anyone listening is, how satisfied are you with your career? Are you in a position that you always imagine yourself to be professionally? When you wake up Monday morning or whenever your job does start, are you fired up for what's coming? When you look 10 years down the road, are you going to be proud of the work you're doing? And when you're retired, are you going to look back on your career and are you in a position? Are you in an industry? Are you being compensated to leave a legacy? Because you get one life. You get on average 79 years. Are you doing everything to make the most of it? And if the answer is yes, keep doing what you're doing. But if there's any bit of the answer that's no, check this book out, The Restart Roadmap. It's a 8-strategy roadmap to get you on that path you always imagined.
Wow, that is I'm about to like run through
yeah.
this wall now.
Yeah, that was good.
Do I like what I'm doing?
Yeah, bro, you better like what you're doing.
yeah, man, you're living the dream.
No, I do. That is awesome.
If you're gonna do it big. I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the thing I talk about is like I'm looking at that. I've thought about this when I was kind of going through my hell as a banker. I just didn't like it. Is like you get 79 years on average in the United States. That's average life expectancy, and I was living one day a week the way I wanted. On Saturday, it was like I was out of career jail. I could dress the way I wanted, hang out with who I wanted. It wasn't a business, angle. I could just be myself. And I'm like, if I'm going to literally on average live till 79 and there's only one day I'm living the true myself, it's like literally I'm living 11 years. What am I doing and why am I doing that? And that was kind of my wake up call.
Yeah. I mean, that makes tons of sense. Well, very
Yeah,
well.
I mean,
the audience knows.
the audience agrees.
We got a sold out crowd here.
Yes.
That is awesome. That is sick. And I mean, since we're on the topic, and obviously myself being an athlete, and I'm sure you've come across and talked to so many different people from all different walks of life and everything. If you could give any advice right now, because a couple of my teammates have jumped on the podcast, they've asked, they've been listening and really supportive of what we're doing. But if you had any advice to give to athletes financially, just like investing, spending, whatever, just like any 2 cents that you think could just, I don't know, kind of be helpful or beneficial, what would you kind of say, or what's on your mind?
Yeah, I think one of the things, especially from an athletic perspective, is you make so much money in a short period of time. And if you look at the numbers, the amount of people that claim bankruptcy because it's not managed correctly, it's exorbitant. And I think one of the things that everyone's got to focus on if you're an athlete is really just capitalize the living hell out of this period that people want everything to do with you, right? I mean, there is so much access and money to be made in this short period of time. Get equity in companies, extend yourself beyond just working out and showing up to games. Think about what you could be doing 365 days a year to be branding and building, not just for the years that you're playing, but for tomorrow, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, because it goes so quick. And I don't think, like, if I analyze almost any industry, it's crazy how relevancy in sports as an athlete just changes overnight. You could be the hottest thing in the planet, and tomorrow no one gives a shit, and it's scary. So what are you doing today to make sure that you're like creating an absolute legacy? And there's so many ways to do it. Outsource it, network, and work with people that could help you because you don't have the time. A good example, I want to give him credit, is I think Rob Gronkowski, a guy I grew up with in Buffalo, a friend of mine, has done it unbelievably. He's got his hands in so many different businesses. He's frugal. He doesn't spend the money he doesn't have to spend. You could read his book. The only money he spends is the brand money. Every penny he's made from the NFL is given to an advisor and invested for him. So just make smart decisions today, and you could have a beautiful life of financial freedom for as long as you're alive.
Honestly, I got to give credit to AJ too. I mean, I kind of see the stuff that he does behind the scenes. Even with, I mean, on the other side of the screen, you can't see it, but he's streaming right now and just like getting connected with fans and just doing little things like that, but also doing like your card business and stuff like that. You're all over the place on just, trying to better yourself, better your brand, and like even walking into the game wearing Carhartt bibs with no shirts. Like people love that stuff. Or even he wore my he wore a St. Thomas jersey walking the game, and I don't even know if you really recognize like the amount of alumni you tapped into, like a fan base like that. So props to you on doing that. That's definitely a great message of just people are like Lazard was saying, like the AT&T, like just like constantly trying to grow a brand like that, or just like be your best self that day. I definitely think that's like the way you have to operate as a human in whatever field you are, and especially with athletics, take advantage of it.
And this time too, like in playoffs, man, think about the eyeballs that are going to be on you and the people that are going to want to hear from you. Like everywhere you go, any press conference you do, if you don't have someone that's making sure that the watch you're wearing is either paid for, or you're getting paid for it, or the logos or whatever. I mean, there's so much you could do. And I think honestly, AJ, you reaching out to me is such a clear indicator. Like, dude, I'm a dude that was on a reality show. Like, who knows? But there's also so much we might be able to do. I also own a talent agency. We might be able to get you brand work. You come onto my podcast, it's 97% women. That's probably not your demographic. Maybe you can grow in that direction and see what happens. So yeah, I think the hustle is so real and so important.
Absolutely. The hustle is huge, and you just can't limit yourself. That's something like I always say, kind of jokingly, like, just don't limit yourself. Like who knows? Like we don't want to be like this podcast, for example. We don't want it to only be football or only be, business or only be anything. Just open it up to everybody and, just kind of have a really lighthearted conversation with, people in the top of their field from all different walks of life that, the audience will just keep growing. And, so like, once again, appreciate you coming on, but that is great advice. I do try the most of my ability to kind of build the brand out. And I do feel like a lot of my teammates and just
the more you can do,
just anybody in any aspect, really, that advice, like when eyes are on you, when you have a platform, whatever that may be, how big or how small, gotta make the most of it. Absolutely.
For sure. And I think people remember the touchdown, they'll remember the stats, they'll remember the big first down plays, but more than those, they'll remember the person you are. And there's so many people that forget with just the power of your athleticism that, God gave you and that you work for every day. The impact that you can make is so much greater than the touchdown you can score. And you could change lives and so many of them.
Absolutely. And then one last thing, just because I've been kind of into it recently. What are your thoughts on like NFTs? I recently got an NFT. I've just gotten a few. One of the ones I've been really investing in is goats,
Cool.
like goat with the Z. And I just really like the whole mission that they have going on. What are your thoughts on NFTs? You don't have to agree, because you like them, I like them. Just like, what are your thoughts on those?
Yeah, no, I'll give you my full take on them. So I think majority of NFTs are kind of a little bit now a bit of a scam, right? So I think there's a small percentage of NFTs that are brilliant, great artists, credible owners that live by what they say and do what they're going to do for the community. And they're so invested not only just in the launch, but they're invested in the longevity of what they're going to do with the NFT. Those are the NFTs that are going to take over the world. Those are the managers that are going to take over the world. You got to be careful. There's a lot of people that recognize that they could have 1,000 pieces of art and they could launch that art, and within 15 minutes they can make over $1 million, and then they don't give a shit about the project. And I've seen it. I've worked with those people, and I've also worked on the marketing side of NFTs. So I've gotten paid from NFT projects where we're pushing out the word, and you're creating instant demand. And that's like the name of the game of these. So be really paying attention to who's behind them, the credibility, the history of the people that's behind them. And I think there's a lot there. The other cool thing I think for you, AJ, is with our demographic in reality TV, I've thought about this endlessly. How do we create an NFT and bring it to market? That demographic right now they're late laggers and they haven't come onto the NFT space. The people that buy your trading cards are the same people that would buy an NFT from you. And I think it would be awesome if you did a project. You know what I mean? I think there's so much to that. And I like the idea. I'll end with this. I think what Gary Vee did that's just brilliant is the fact that he has tangible things to his NFTs is absolutely genius. I mean, let me just show you this real quick.
Absolutely.
Here's the thing. Here's something that won't change, right? Like behaviors, like human behaviors. I got all these stupid lanyards, right? You got the Super Bowl, US Open, Ryder Cup, Michigan game. This is like my little brag thing, right? Like I show people, and the fact that you can now have NFTs in a stored wallet to show people like the experiences you've had and the places you've gone is something that will not go anywhere but accelerate.
Yeah. I mean, tying NFTs with experiences and like just so much more, like those tangible things, like you were saying, that'd be you just lit a light bulb in my head. I got a new project I'm on now.
That's cool. Yeah.
Every touchdown you score, every pass you catch in the playoffs, I don't know if there's a way to save that ball or your glove or something from it. And if you can sell an NFT that's attached to that moment, like think about it. These are cleats I have, and I have a football from Doug Flutie when I was like 6 or whatever, and he handed me the ball.
That's
Imagine
badass.
Yeah.
if I have an NFT with that I'll have forever, my grandkids could see, and the ball that's like deflating and looks like shit right now anyway. Like there's something there, you know?
Absolutely. I had a conversation about NFTs too with a fellow Tommy, and he said, well, imagine the whole metaverse world too. I mean, that's a whole nother deep dive, but everyone logs onto their meeting with their own virtual reality goggles. And then you have you're in this meeting room, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I want an art piece on that wall over there, and you can like put that virtual art or that virtual, like you said, like a memorabilia, and that's definitely like where that can play into play too.
Sorry, bro, I got distracted. I thought you were trying to stiff arm me.
Oh,
That shit, like over here, I was like, damn, was I talking too much? Was I too loud?
I was like this one right here.
I love that.
Absolutely. Speaking of the jokes, let's transitioning the joke of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you? I sent over a memo. Did you get a joke? Do you have a joke ready for us?
Shoot, is that a?
It's okay. You can take your time. If you don't have one, we got it over here.
Mine are normally weak.
Yeah, they're normally we aim for the cornier the better. So
Okay, let me see if I can think about one real quick.
Yeah, you got it. You got time. I'll start off. Why did the Scarecrow get a promotion?
Why?
Because he was outstanding in his field.
Oh.
All right. What do you call a fish with no eyes?
No,
I know this one.
What is it?
I love that. That's a
Drop
good
the
one.
eye, baby.
I've never heard that one.
What do you call cheese that's not yours?
Nacho cheese.
I mean, I'm going.
But we're in Green Bay. The people love that.
All right. What did the pirate say on his 80th birthday?
Give me a sec. Let me think about this one.
Yeah, I want to think about this. I know.
80th birthday. Peg you later.
I'm gonna pass.
What did he say?
Peg you later. I don't know.
Pause.
Hey.
He said, "I made it."
Hey, that one was good. That was actually really good.
All right, I got another good. I like to do this. I got a good segment. So I also like to do like my favorite comment underneath AJ's like posts on Instagram, Twitter, because there's always somebody just sending out some goofy stuff. Okay. And this one was it was underneath a TikTok. AJ commented, this huge like Justin Jefferson fan, Justin Jefferson for the Vikings. And AJ commented, "This is awesome." And then at Vikings, send this to J Jets, and added them and all that stuff. And then someone immediately underneath it says, "Get out of our comment section and go kiss Aaron on the mouth." It was like some Vikings fan just bitter about you being like just a good sport.
Like I said, I appreciate fandom, but
stupid trolls.
It's so fun. I love the trolls.
You got it.
It's actually hilarious.
It makes the internet so
I read all
pure.
the comments. It wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be as fun to be an athlete in modern times, like if you didn't get trolled.
Yeah,
or just anybody. Like I'm sure you
get under your skin or no?
Sorry, what?
Do any of the like comments or anything? Do they ever get under your skin, or are you just like so past that now?
No, see, that's one of the things. Like I know some guys who don't read any comments, good or bad.
Then you got Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I know some guys who only read the good stuff after a good game, or like I don't. It doesn't bother me, and that's not like I'm not trying to like weird flex or anything. I just have always liked to see what people say. Just like I also like to talk to everybody, and that's why I do Twitch and I stream and I go live because I enjoy talking to my fans. So it is fun for me. Like I'll read, like I'll have a bad game, I'll still lay in bed pissed off at the world, but I'll still go read like what people have to say.
It's fuel.
And that's what keeps me level headed, because I'll have a great game and everybody will be like, AJ, they go, and then I don't have my best, and they're like, why did we draft this guy? I'm like, all right, right in the middle is where I need to be. Let's not get too high.
I love it.
But I do love that segment. We'll just start it up. I got some funny trolls.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff being said online. A lot of creepy stuff about the legs and stuff.
Yeah, well, that'll take up its own episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do a Q&A and add some of the comments to a Q&A and comments.
Hey, you had mentioned earlier the show had changed your life in so many different ways, and you had mentioned that you're engaged, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Obvious, yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you guys. Thank you. And obviously we saw that Caitlin is getting ready to do Dancing with the Stars, and that's going to be in Milwaukee, actually. So out our way, February 5th. So we're going to need some tickets.
Heck, you guys let me know how many tickets you need and consider it done.
Hey, absolutely. We'd appreciate that. I've never been to anything like that before.
That's
so that'd
fun.
be awesome. But I wanted to ask you, I'm also engaged right now to his sister, actually.
That's a connection.
That's a connection. So
that's
brothers. This is my little
No, I'm the older
brother.
one.
Soon he won't be able to get
I taught him everything he knows.
Soon he won't be able to get rid of me. But I just wanted to ask you, like, who's planning what? Is it more your fiance, you, and like what has been the challenges and difficulties of, the whole wedding deal? Because, we're going through it too. So I just, fun to hear from your perspective.
Oh, for sure. And let me tell you, I wish I could tell you it's all rainbows, sunshine, and roses. But man, this whole wedding process has been hell and back. I think, and it shouldn't be. It should be such a delightful experience. But here's the deal. I think in most relationships, from what I've found, is usually like someone takes control. The problem is like Caitlin and I are spread pretty thin right now that like neither one of us is like taking like control to like make it happen. So we clearly recognize we're going to need a really, really good planner because we need someone to just be like, this is what we're doing. Get your shit together. Let's go. Let's get it done. And we have had like complete nightmare stories with planners and the contracts and just there's been so many things to that. So we finally circled back to the first planner that we ever met with that hit a home run for us, but was a little bit more expensive. Mm-hmm. And we're going to end up moving forward with that planner. And so any advice I'd give for you is outsource. And if you are budgeting, like, I don't know if you're like me, like you want to make sure you're being smart about it because that's just how I roll. Spending more sometimes will save you a whole lot of headaches and you only get one chance one day to make the best celebration in the world. So we're going all in. We're going to throw down, outsource, and pay a couple extra bucks. It's worth it.
Yeah, you got to, especially to get it done the right way. It's you can't put a price on, stuff like that.
No price.
What's been your process?
My process has been let Gabrielle do everything she needs. I went to the tasting for the food, and so just know that the food at the wedding is gonna be bomb.
Do you have one thing though that you are particular? Like, if there is one thing you are particular about with your wedding, what would you say it is?
I'm really particular about the experience for everybody else. I know like the aesthetic and how everything looks and all that stuff is like very important to me as well, but extremely to her. And so I feel like for the guests anyway, and I know it's about us and our night, but I do want everybody who's coming to have a great time. I do feel like a wedding is a wedding. Like, it might look really nice, but if you're not the one getting married, a wedding is a wedding. So I want there to be good food. I want there to be good music. I want there to be great drinks and a space for everybody to have, a really good time and make that memorable. Nobody's going to be like, oh, I love the tablecloths that they had at the wedding. They're going to be like, man, that was so much fun. We couldn't stop dancing.
Yeah, let's do a rapid fire questions of just like
rapid fire.
Yeah. All right, so DJ or band?
Okay, so I think it's like fancier to have a band, but I've gone in the weeds on this. I'm going DJ because if I've noticed that every party is actually way better with a DJ because when you have a band, they're watching the band, they're not dancing. So a DJ with like a saxophone or maybe like one person that does instrumentals.
Okay, I like that, a little hybrid. All right, adults only or kids allowed?
Adults only.
Okay.
Right there with you.
Okay, yeah. Big wedding or small wedding?
We're going big. She's West Coast. I'm East Coast. There's probably only one night in our life we'll have everyone together. Let's do it big.
Yeah, I like that. All right, destination or in town?
In town. Why? Because we want our two dogs to be part of it. So it'll be
nice.
That's awesome.
Which one's bringing the ring?
Well, we have one dog who's kind of like, his IQ is probably a little low, so not him. Ramen's gonna bring the ring.
Big heart, little brain.
We love it.
All right. What's like the one food? What's got to be the one food item on the menu?
One food item. I mean, we're definitely going to have like a nice steak. That's got to be an option. But the best part is being from Buffalo, we don't have great food, but we have the best food that's shittiest for you. So the after food, the drunk food, like the buffalo wings, the buffalo pizza, the beef on whack, we'll be throwing down with the drunk food after the party too.
Awesome. I got two questions. I got one more of these not would you rathers, but these rapid fires I want to know. And then we got to come back to that food topic.
I like
it. So photographer cancels last minute or your DJ cancels last minute. Which one would you rather?
Oh, wait, what was the first one, though? It was DJ.
So either your photographer and your videographer, they cancel last minute, or the DJ cancels.
Wow, that's brutal.
You're without them for the whole night. So it's not like, oh, we can have somebody else sing. Like there's no music at all, or there's no pictures besides like what people take on their phone and stuff.
No music, no party, no night. The photographer could get sick. The DJ better show.
Yeah, I like the way you roll. That's
the same
probably
way.
what I'd pick too. There's enough. With the new iPhone, the 13, like you got cinematic mode, you're good to go.
All that matters is what's going on too. Like maybe a party with no phones would probably be way more lit too, way more memorable.
It would be.
Yeah, exactly. People would be in the moment. You're right.
Absolutely. So going back to the wings, I've been pretty outspoken about my favorite wings in America. They're up in Door County, Wisconsin. They're in Bailey's Harbor at this little dive bar called AC Tap. They're garlic parm. And so next time you come out here, now I feel like we're all boys now at this point. So, next time you get out here, you come up for the summer or something, we'll bring you up to Door County. We'll teach you how to wake surf.
Yeah, we'll get you going.
It's a good time up there, but we got to get you to try some of these wings. But I know you're from Buffalo. You mentioned the Buffalo wings. Are you strictly Buffalo wings? And I'll eat something else, but I need my Buffalo wings?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to take you up on that offer, and I got to try these wings. But if when I go back to Buffalo this weekend, I will have wings every single day. Whenever you have your wings, by the way, if you don't get them in Buffalo, you got to order extra crispy because don't cook them right. And then the one thing is you got to, the garlic parm I like, I'm down with that. But the non-negotiable is if you come to Buffalo and you ask to dip your wings in ranch sauce, you got to get out of Buffalo. You're not welcome. Blue cheese only, baby.
All right, this is the big question though: drummies or flats?
Okay, I call them our family skateboards or clubs, and I'm a skateboard guy. I like the flats.
So AC Tap is strictly flats or skateboards, and then they serve them crisp. They serve them extra crispy. So
can you bring them through the process of how they double bake them, or
they bake them and then they flash fry them right before they serve them. So and then they also do a separate they'll grill them and then they'll flash fry them. So some of them you can ask for either or.
They're double baked then flash froze or fried.
Flash fried, yeah.
Yeah,
and then the sausage is different.
What?
What'd
you say, bro?
The sauce is just different.
Oh, I thought you said the sausage is different. I'm like, bro, get off the podcast.
No,
you gotta watch out for Will, man.
No, come on, man. Don't give me that.
So what we'll have to do is we'll come out to Green Bay. We'll try those wings. And then I think you guys actually play in Buffalo in the 2022 season.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
You'll have to come to that game. I'll show you some of the Buffalo spots too.
Hey, we can make that happen. Absolutely.
That'd be lit. I'd be down for that.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Then you can see how the Buffalo boys drink, and you can give me your opinion on that whole question.
So what I'm saying is we're gonna have to move that up to the off season so I can really show you how to drink.
Yeah.
Just understand that you're not going to be jumping through the table. You're going to be underneath the table.
Respect.
Yeah. All right. One last wedding question, and we'll kind of let you off the hook with those. The proposal. Yeah. That was big time. We saw that you proposed on Caitlin's podcast, Off the Vine. Tell us about that, kind of how you got it past her with being able to surprise her and not having her know, and what that was like.
For sure. So I was a banker again in Seattle when I got off The Bachelor. Caitlin has a big podcast, and then they were deciding who will be the next Bachelor. And it was between me and this guy named Colton Underwood and another guy, Blake Horseman. They ended up going with Colton Underwood. So then Caitlin interviewed me to just be like, how you feeling? What's next? And the first time we ever met, the whole audio is recorded. So how cool, think about, when you met your fiance and stuff, imagine if you actually had that audio, what a weird experience. The first day we ever met.
That is interesting.
We got the whole convo, right? So then I was thinking, we were stuck in COVID. I was like, okay, Caitlin hadn't seen her parents in a year and a half. We had a vacation plan to see her mom. I was like, I'm going to propose there. but her parents are in Cabo for the summer. So bringing the ring over the border was going to be a bit of an issue. So I had to quickly come up with something on the fly. And I said, the first place we ever met was the podcast. We have the audio. How cool would it be? Our kids, our grandkids, one day we can like share that experience because we'll have that recorded. So what I did was I worked with her manager. And her manager convinced her that she had a huge sponsor for this podcast, that Apple was going to be the sponsor. So she was getting Caitlin all hyped up. She's like, okay, we're going to have the makeup artist there and we're going to have 3 cameras there. Like, this is a big deal. Get ready for it. This is huge. So Caitlin's all excited. So she's prepping me for the podcast. Like, Jason, you got to be ready for this. Make sure you're wearing this. Like, she's like hyped me up. Yeah. She has no idea this is all set up. So we're on the podcast. And what I didn't know is the manager told me, like, you actually have to go podcast for 30 minutes. Like, so you can't propose until I'm like 30 minutes. I'm going to shit myself. I got to stay there for 30 minutes and talk while I know I'm going to propose. She's like, yeah, you got to do it. So Caitlin went on to bring the guest. And that was my cue. When Caitlin went to bring on the guest after 30 minutes, I had one thing to say, Caitlin, there is no guest today. And she went to bring on the guest. And I was like, and Caitlin's like, you okay? And I'm like, and she's like, did you not record? Did you not hit record? Don't worry about it. And then finally I got it out. Caitlin, there is no guest. I proposed. And the cool thing is now we have the audio and the video for as long as we live, the day we met and the day I proposed. Yeah. But the funny thing about it is at dinner that night, it took her that long. She's like, wait, so is there actually no Apple sponsors? I'm really looking forward to that.
That is hilarious.
That's good stuff. That's a great story.
That's really funny. And like, I'd say great minds think alike, because my proposal wasn't too far off from
your proposal was great.
But I was like, damn, like I came up with this all by myself. Like, but that I honestly feel like I just took a page out of your book, man. I had convinced my fiance that I had like a couple months out, I had a photo shoot or a video like commercial I was doing up in Door County, which I'm a proud holder of the only key to the county. So not just the town, the entire county, Door County. Yeah,
clap it up.
We got a big Door County fan base here. So
yeah, they love this.
Before I got the key, but I was big advocate of going up there and everything. So she was like, oh, you got a commercial? That'd be fun. Like, you'll enjoy that. I was like, yeah, but you got to be in it. And she's a little more shy. She doesn't like to really be in front of the camera like that. And I was like, yeah, you have to be in it. And she's like, oh, I don't want to. No shot. I was like, but we can get you a new outfit. And so kind of like how you're saying, like she was planning everything. So she got the new outfit. She got me a matching outfit. We went to the spa. She got her hair done, her nails done, everything, new earrings, everything, so she could be all set. And then I hired a whole video crew, and we went from one town to another town and ended up proposing on their family's dock. I proposed on their family's dock, but the whole day was recorded because it was supposed to. We did the whole commercial all day, so the whole thing was recorded. And me proposing was
that's
on camera. So, yeah,
that's
so
really
fun.
Good.
Great minds take a look.
It was really cool.
I like that.
I think it's a fun little side note on that whole day was like you couldn't put the ring holder or whatever, like to like open up the to show the ring or whatever. He couldn't fit that in his pants.
It's hard to find pants.
I had the same issue. My pants were too tight, so they were like, "What are you gonna do? It'll stick out." So I had to put it actually in her desk. And before the podcast, she had to get batteries, and she was about to go in that drawer. And her managers stopped her and was like, "What are you doing? Like, you're good. You got to start." And she's like, "Oh, I thought we need batteries." She's like, "Oh, I have them." And she pulled batteries out. Otherwise, I would have been sniped.
Oh, that'd have been brutal. Yeah.
They need thinner boxes.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That is good. That is good. Man, that's funny. Thinking about the wedding. It's crazy. It's coming up quick.
It is. Everything's flying.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. Let's get to this weekend. Let's talk some football real quick while we got you. Last part of the segment. We do I forget what show is it. What show is that where they have the people pick them and then they have the all-time scoreboard? What is it?
That's like all the sports shows do that kind of.
Well, we've started a little scoreboard right now. Myself, Will, and our producer Declan, who's out there in the studio in the background, we're all 2-1 right now.
Okay.
And the only guest we've had do the pick'em is Alan Lazard. He's 1-0. So we'll see if you can, continue the guest streak of being perfect. We got a little playoff wild card round games pick them. You want to start off?
All right. We'll just go game by game. So I'm gonna go with the Bengals over the Raiders. And then do you want me to keep going?
I'll also do the Bengals. What do you got?
Is this with spread or without spread?
No spread, just straight up win-loss.
No spread, gotta take Bengals. With spread, I'd take Raiders. But
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
See, AJ can't really speak on the whole spread stuff.
No spread, no spread for me. Just
It's a little dicey, but
Okay,
so
gotcha.
we'll just do pick'ems.
We're going Bengals.
Bengals all around.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go with this one's tough. The Patriots-Bills game.
Ooh. Where is that?
It's in Buffalo. I'm going with Buffalo. I think Josh Allen's just the biggest kid on the block. He's just gonna get it done.
I'm going Patriots.
I'm going Buffalo. Those are fighting words there, AJ.
Yeah, I'm going Patriots. I don't know. I just, I went to BC. I did like high school. I went to a prep school out right outside of Boston. I got those kind of Boston ties. I just feel like somehow they'll figure it out.
Bill Belichick's different.
Yeah,
I know you hate to hear that, Jason, but he's
especially
different.
in the playoffs, man.
When he ran the ball, the last time, or no, the first time you guys played the season, they threw the ball like 3 times.
3 passes, 3 forward passes.
2 completions it was. I think it was 2 completions and they won the game.
That's insane.
Wow.
Nice.
All right.
The Sunday game?
Yeah. Eagles at Buccaneers. Oh, my gut tells me all right, if we're talking spread, but we're not. I love the Eagles, but I can't bet against Tom Brady. I'm going Bucks.
Yeah, for pick 'em, I'm going Bucks.
Pick 'em, you got to go Bucks. Can't bet against Brady in the playoffs.
Unless they're playing the Green Bay
Packers.
Then I bet all on the Packers. Put it all. I'm going all in.
All right, 49ers, Cowboys. This is another toss-up game. I don't know. I don't know how to pick this game, but
is it at Cowboys?
Yeah, it's at Dallas, but the way the Niners won that game in just such a gritty fashion of just coming back and clawing for it, I'm gonna roll with the Niners. I think they're just they're a tough team to out right away. So
I'm going with the boys on this one.
All right, I'm gonna say this is the upset of the weekend. I'm going Niners too.
Okay. I like it.
All right, Steelers, Chiefs.
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 Yeah. Big Ben can't get it done.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can't really see.
Yeah, I don't really know. But
did you see his press conference the other day where he was just like, "Yeah, we're 20-point underdogs. Let's just go have fun." I
love that mentality. I saw something. I was like, the last time they won the Super Bowl, they were kind of in the same boat, and they're like, "We're not supposed to win." And they just went out there and balled them. Fuck out.
Yeah, I would like to see that. It would be cool to see Big Ben just go crazy. That'd be very entertaining.
Just starts turns into a scrambler.
Yeah. Big Ben is just not refusing to go down and just slinging the rock. That'd be so fun to watch.
That's awesome.
Last but not least, the Monday night game.
Yeah, Cardinals Rams. I am gonna go with. I don't know. This one's so tough too, but I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. That's so tough for me to say, but I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. I don't see that Rams blue is just so candy ass to me, and I just think the Cardinals win that game. I think they kind of show what they were in the beginning of the season.
I don't know. That's gonna be a really good game. I feel like that's gonna be the game of the week. I'd say, my gut's saying Rams, so I'm gonna just go Rams.
Yeah, I think I always look way too deep into this stuff. I'm like, there's a reason they made it the last game. There's a reason they flexed it to Monday night. It's going to be a high-scoring game, and I'm going to go with my second upset of the week. I'm going to say Cardinals take it.
Okay. All right, fun stuff.
We love it. Yeah. Awesome, man. I appreciate all the time and everything. We got one last little segment here. We got our fun facts of the day.
Okay.
And I'll start it off. This is what the people look forward to most. Obviously, they're excited to have you as a guest, but the fun facts, you need to take this away. If you shuffle a deck of cards, you easily might be the last person to ever hold those cards in that arrangement.
Damn, that's
a little self-explanatory, but also kind of
mind-blowing. Yeah, that's kind of mind-blowing.
It's
kind of deep. Yeah, kind of deep.
All right, so mine is I like to bring the Packer facts. So the Green Bay Packers have historically dominated the postseason, and with a league-leading 34 playoff appearances, and then the Dallas Cowboys have 33. So we've been to the playoffs more than any team. Very blessed for that. But
really cool.
I say we keep this going. So
Well, the audience loves that.
They're going crazy.
I like that. All right, so my fun fact is going to be, so I have the Raiders. I know you didn't talk spread, but I have the Raiders covering 6.5. The reason I do is because everyone talks about Burrow, right? But if you look at total pass yards, actually, Oakland Raiders have 100 more pass yards than the Cincinnati Bengals this year. And what I found fascinating is that 10% of Cincinnati Bengals plays that are run, 10% result in a sack. Oh, his O-line is awful. Well, the Vegas Raiders, their pressure is 6th in the league. So 33% of snaps, they're putting pressure on the quarterback. 10% of the snaps, Burrow is ending up sacks. So I think that defensive pressure will
that is definitely a big fun fact right
That's
there.
awesome. I'm glad to see that you're a big sports fan too. I just don't like Derek Carr's eyeliner that he wears. So I'm an emotional better. I don't really.
This guy.
Can I get your take while I got you? I know this is your podcast, but what did you guys think about that Sunday night game where the tie puts both of them in and the timeout called by the Chargers? I don't know if you could speak to that.
I was so confused why they didn't. Yeah, I mean, I was just like really confused watching. I'm like, why don't you both just kneel and both go?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it's a less risk play. I mean, obviously nothing can really happen. I mean, the risk of or the probability of having like a block kick or something is low, but still, like, it's like taking a knee is the most secure, and you can secure yourself to get in the playoffs like that. I think it doesn't matter, but I think at the end of the day, it's just
you know what? I want to change my take because Will earlier reminded me of like what's on the other side of the screen here. Everybody can't see it, but I was in the middle of streaming on Twitch. Got a NCAA 14 back, like revamped with updated rosters and everything. I'm doing dynasty mode where I'm coaching, and it's a gritty
Coach
season.
Quads.
Yeah, we're 5-1 right now. Boston College, we're returning to greatness. But I guess it really comes down to what kind of coach you want to be. Are you aggressive? Are you going to go for the win? Are you going to go for two? If it was me and I'm coaching BC right here, I'm probably not going to take that knee. So I'll change my answer, and you gotta. If you're an aggressive coach, you just got to go for it.
I like to win. Tying is weird.
Exactly.
I like it. I respect that. I just the one move I didn't get. If I'm the Raiders, I of course want to win. If I'm the Chargers on defense and it's 3rd and 4 and they're nonchalant with 38 seconds out of field goal range lining up, I am not calling a timeout. He called the timeout. That gave him a chance to get their stuff together. They convert the first down, kick the field goal. They're out of the playoffs. Season's over. Crazy in-game decision to call that timeout by the Chargers head coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I appreciate all your time. Appreciate you taking time out the busy schedule. Get on the podcast with us, man. It was
fun.
A pleasure.
Jason. Appreciate it.
Talking about everything. Definitely gonna hit you up about those tickets. We got to go see Dancing with the Stars.
That'd be fun. That would be
100%. Let me know about the tickets. We'll make it happen. Yeah. Good luck this postseason. You guys make it to the NFC Championship. I'll be there. And thanks for having me on, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. We'll see you in Buffalo this offseason for some drinks and beer.
And wings.
Some skateboards.
Consider it done, baby. Consider it done.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man.
Guys. Take care.